I give you the globe. This is from a company called Mova Globes. Mova Globes is a company that makes globes. That's what they do. That's their business. If you want a globe, you got to call these guys. They're experts on globes. On their website, you can find the history of globes. Let's see what it has to say. In the 16th century, globes became very relevant beginning in the 15th and 16th centuries. The earliest surviving globe was designed by a German geographer in 1492, just as Columbus was embarking on his journeys to the west. Yet, contrary to what you might think, globes were not initially used for navigating the seas, nor recording of new discoveries. Rather, globes were given to powerful rulers as gifts, as they symbolized their control over the lands. Well, kind of like a genderless bathroom sign, perhaps. Powerful rulers, all right? So basically, it was useless, right? The sailors could not use the globe because it was useless, all right? This is from 1492 right here, all right? While the demand for globes rose in the 17th century, the use for them largely remained the same. Small pocket globes and even larger globes developed by the British continued to serve as powerful decorative accessories and as symbols of status. Well, we got symbols again, huh? It's a symbol. Nevertheless, maps were updated and new discoveries were recorded so that many globes could still serve a practical use. Only in the 18th century did globes more widely serve practical uses, such as the recording of new discoveries and as educational tools for astronomers, for experts, right? Still not for students yet. Globes are not a household item yet. 19th century globes. This time period saw the addition of a new market for globes that is iconic in today's world, the classroom. Okay, so globes were only taught and used in classrooms from the 1800s, all right? And in fact, I believe it was the mid to late 1800s, which really is about 150 years, really. Globes have only been used by the common people for about 150 years. And nobody knew, right? The first images of the Earth from space, a really grainy, bad photo. The next one was during the Apollo mission to the moon landing in 1969. And a BBC documentary, even mainstream media has proven that to be a fraud. It was simply a transparent painting set on top of a round window or light. So it looked, and the rest of it was dark. So it looked like it would look like film footage of the Earth from space, surrounded by the blackness of space. And it was 1969. That's really when people were like, "Oh, I guess the Earth really is a globe." 1969 was the first confirmation that Earth was actually a globe, and that confirmation has now been proven to be false, using mass media to indoctrinate the masses, to brainwash people, right? So the classroom as a place to indoctrinate children with the idea of a globe. This began in the late 1800s. Thus, many globes were made into smaller sizes for easier portability and, of course, to conform to children's needs. Children. All right, so this little globe here was a very important tool for shaping our worldview. A new idea was put into the classroom to change people's worldview at a very young age, right? To imprint an entirely new worldview based on no evidence. Probably was a good business to be in at the time, right? The globe business. We got to brainwash the masses. We need more globes. Put that thing in a classroom, everyone will believe a lie. Then make a few Star Wars movies, Star Trek, science fiction, comic books, movies. Yeah, they'll believe it. Put the globe at the beginning of every news show. Just put the globe out there as much as we can, because it doesn't actually exist, but they'll think it does. 21st century globes, all right? That's kind of where we're at now, isn't it? Flash forward to today, and globes now serve mostly as decor. Oh, look at this. A globe is merely a historical artifact these days. Why? Because we know it's false. We know it doesn't symbolize anything. It's a lie. All right? It's only merely a historical artifact according to the globe company themselves. They admit the globe is merely a historical artifact, a curiosity, a freak show. So we're going to look at this book by Alex Gleason, written in 1890, updated in 1893. Is the Earth a globe? Okay, that's kind of the second part of the book. Now, some people say that this line here, they say that this is at 33, right? But if you look closely, it has 30, here's 45, here's 60. The numbers are going up in value towards the center. So that means 33 would be right about there. So this is about 27, all right? So it is, yeah, it is right around Israel, isn't it? So I don't know. This maybe does mean something, but it's not the number 33, all right? It's 27. So basically what happened, he wanted to put this map in classrooms to fight against the globes that were being pushed out. He recognized that the Masons were putting globes in the school to brainwash children. He knew what was going on. And so he made this map 1892. He wrote the book around the same time, late 1800s, just at the same time that they were pushing the globe down people's throats, all right, and indoctrinating helpless, innocent little children who didn't have any critical thinking skills. They just soak up whatever the adults tell them, right? I actually asked a university student once, I said, why do you believe the Earth is a globe? He said, because my teacher told me, and it said it in the textbook. That was his answer. It's hopeless, really, right? Come on, use your brain, man. So they were indoctrinating children with the globe. This guy said, hey, I want to put this map in schools instead. Let's see what he has to say about this. So right here, page 350, towards the end of the book, he's saying, a new circular map of the world and longitude and time calculator, all right? We have prepared a new map of the world as it is. The great advantage to the child or pupil are these. Okay, so this is why, this is the purpose, all right? The purpose of making this map. Now, part of it was to be used as a time chart, but really, I think that's kind of a cover, actually. He wanted it to make it look like a clock, really, right? But I think this is the real purpose, and this is what it actually says, right? The great advantage to the child or pupil are these. The whole world is before the person, with all its continents, countries, etc., in their detail and relative location. So it's a relative location. It doesn't say exact, right? Relative location, the one to the other, and so is the geography of the earth and seas established in the mind. The geography of the earth and seas and the relative location of all the different places, the basic shape of the earth and layout of the continents and seas, he wanted that to be established in the mind, especially of the child, so they'd at least have a chance to fight back against the globe. The map should hang in the house of every family in the land as well as every office or public place. The publishing company have ready a large wall map for schoolrooms and public places. The company will not only supply the United States, but the world, and very soon the globe map and Mercator's projection will not be found. So he wanted to replace the globe, which was booming during that time, and also the Mercator projection. He wanted to put his map up there so people could see what was really going on. As a useful commodity, they will not exist, and if any existence of them should be preserved, it would be but a memorial of that pagan idolatry from which the nations had evolved. Globe is a pagan idol, all right? It's sad that so many people still believe in the globe. That's only been really pushed down people's throats for the last 150 years. So that means there's almost 6,000 years of human history when they didn't have the globe propaganda and they just used their common sense and their brain and they walked outside and say, hey, I'm not getting blown away by the wind. The earth must be standing still. Yeah. The hypothesis of the motions of the earth and planets around the sun were not original even with Copernicus and as has been claimed or supposed by some. According to mythological tradition, Pythagoras, the sun worshipper, was the medium through which the devil operated to bring into requisition the present godless adorations, idol, of the inventions of man. Godless, I say, for such ideas as the founders of the system possessed and taught, I am safe in saying, never sprang from a divine source. It is but simply a matter of justice that I mention the source of this pagan institution. The globe comes from pagans.